welcome Jed Marum and Mark Gorman. One more thing, I'll go ahead and tell you now, and I won't have to repeat it, hopefully, unless I don't. I'm going to put a jar right here in a few minutes, and that's how these things are funded. Everything that you leave will go to them. Helen and I don't take a penny for this. We do this because we love it, and we love them. We love you guys. So there's going to be there'll be a bucket hanging right here. I need you guys to fill it up. If it ain't full after the first set, we're going to talk about this again.
Welcome to church.
Am I turned on?
You're turned on.
I'm going to start with a, we arm wrestled out front to see who got to start, so I lost. I've got a whole bunch of historical music and I want to play for you. And this first one is one I wrote for a film a number of years ago. I've been lucky enough to do several over the years. And I had found a letter from a soldier who is now an old fellow. And he's writing back to the United Daughters of the Confederacy, talking about his experience. And they published a whole book of these letters. And this fellow said, I was 16 years old when I joined the Army of the Lord, and I was 17 when I joined the Army of the Confederacy, and I fought for both all of my life. And he was such a wonderful fellow, and just filled with, emotion in his letters, and talked about with love and respect for the fellows that he traveled those many years with during the Civil War, and his generals and so forth. And he closed by saying, God bless the dear old Confederates. So I thought that was a song right there. The banjola's on, is it? I'm sorry, I can't hear it. And so when I wrote this, because the film had asked me to, they wanted the music to be sounding like American and Celtic folk, which is right up my alley. So I used a beautiful old Irish melody for the song. I dreamed a dream the other night, a dream of long ago. I saw the Rockbridge artillery lads going down on the open road. Their pace was quick and their heads held high as they entered Manassas town. Then cannon blazing and hearts afire, they made a thunderous row. Come on, you loyal young southern men who cultivate the land, who work the rivers or ride the range by your honest hands. I'll tell you the tale of the sights that I've seen when your grandfathers went off to war, from far away to the snowy north and to the Texas shore. We followed Colonel Pendleton and General Jackson too. We traveled the east and we traveled the south, and we thrashed the invaders in blue. I've seen hills rolling with rivers of death, and the heavens in torrents and flame, but always the hand of the Father at work, and ever his spirit aflame. Oh, the years wore on and the battles drawn through mean and hungry days. We were falling to sickness or musket and ball, we were dying in so many ways. But still we stood faithful and true to the cause, ever through hardship and pain. Then forces and tatters, our flag in defeat, through grace we marched home again. Well, I dreamed a dream the other night, a dream I thought was true. I marched with the Rockbridge artillery lads, and we faced the invaders in blue. Our backs were strong and our heads held high, and we battled for Jackson and Lee. God bless the dear old Confederates, and the rock bridge out to the reed. God bless the Tearhold Confederates and the rock bridge out to the reed.
I'm not getting much on the back of airflow. Could you give me volume on that?
I'm about to change.
Okay, the next time we're gonna need to check it before we
Okay.
start, okay? Because I'm not getting a good signal on it back there yet. So we'll let the guys get your guitar in real quick.
You good? Does that sound all right?
I'm great. How about you?
Oh, so far so good. Thanks for having us, man.
It's an honor to have you on.
Thanks, Jed, for letting me sit in with you tonight.
Thanks for bringing the crowd.
Yeah, man. Hi, friends. Hello. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We know that you could be 1,000 other places, but we're really glad that you're with us tonight. And I hope you came to have a little bit of fun. I'd like to have some. If that'd be all right. And so I would appreciate that anytime that you could figure out the words that I'm singing on the chorus and can sing in the same chorus in the same key that I'm in, that you would join along and be on the record with me, if you don't mind. We'll go out all over the world, all over the FaceTube. I know we're on FaceTube, and no telling what else we might be going out on tonight. And so I thought, you started out with a historical song. This is a little bit of a historical song as well. This is a true story. She's got herself an exit plan. That girl is raring to go. She got every little thing lined out. She got her ducks in a row. She got a time and a place in mind, but she don't want me to know. Oh, she's got herself an exit plan. My baby's headed down to old Mexico. Okay, got it? Maybe not? She's got herself an exit plan. She's got herself an exit plan. That girl is raring to go. That girl is raring to go. She got every little thing lined out. She got every little thing lined out. She got her ducks in a row. Got her ducks in a row. She got it in a place in mind, but she don't want me to know. Oh, she's got herself an exit plan. My baby's headed down to old Mexico. She's been squirreling away a little something in a secret account. She neglected to say it's finally grown to a substantial amount. Some bills went unpaid. I just thought that the money got tight. Leaving today, a one-way ticket on a southbound flight. Here we go! She's got herself an exit plan. That girl is raring to go. She got every little thing lined out. She got her ducks in a row. Yes, she does. She got it in a place in mind, but she don't want me to know. Oh, she's got herself an exit plan. My baby's headed down to old Mexico. Don't sing real well. When I saw the brochure on her side of the bed, in my mind I was sure the warning signs were only in my head. I thought that little black bikini I found hiding in the dresser drawer. She bought this for me. Now I'm 100% sure. Here we go! She's got herself an exit plan. That girl is raring to go. She got every little thing lined out. She got her ducks quack and roll. She got a time and a place in mind, but she don't want me to know. Oh, she's got herself an exit got herself an exit plan. That girl is raring to go. She got every little thing lined out. She got her ducks in a row. She got a time and a place in mind, but she don't want me to know, no, 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 no. She's got herself an exit plan. My baby's headed down to old Mexico. Oh, she's got herself an exit plan. She's on a beach down in old Mexico. Woo! All right.
You fooled me there at the end.
Damn, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, is my guitar okay yet?
Everything sounds fine. You guys do me a favor real quick. I want you guys to welcome Texas Music Hall of Fame and Grand Ole Opry member Alan Hurt. He's here with us tonight. He did
I was driving down here tonight. I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to know anybody there. And as soon as I got here, the first person I see is Alan.
Sorry.
You got known for years.
He's still here from DC.
So I felt right in the
Right,
middle.
Alan?
Yeah, we never left.
This is another one that I wrote for film a few years back. And this one talks about a young fellow at the end of the Civil War. He's a Southern soldier. He lives in South Louisiana, and he's finding his own way home, as so many of them did when the war ended. And he spent many, many hours walking, you know, those dusty roads, listening to the babbling brooks and whatever. And I thought, if it was me, I'd be singing songs. I'd be playing tunes in my head, and as I go, and just kind of letting my footsteps kind of turn the world underneath my feet. And I made up this song, goes like this. Morning sunlight through the trees, my song says on the summer breeze. Repeating every word I said like running water through my head. Even as I ran, the hours fly, the miles slip by, my footsteps bring the midday sky. Another tune, another song, another hour at home belong. Even as I ran, oh, I've seen trouble and I bear a heavy load since I started out to roll. But every step I take along this dusty road brings me closer to my home. I can't forget the things I saw, the lonely years I fought this war, the lives of friends I left behind, ever present in my mind. Even as I ran, I see them now in my mind's eye. The lonely years begin to fly. I take her warm in my embrace. The lonely years just slip away. Even as I ran, oh, I've seen trouble and I bear a heavy load since I started out to roll. But every step I take along this dusty road brings me closer to my home.
Here's another true one. In fact, in this song, there it talks about a particular Mexican food restaurant that I went to, and it was a great place to go. And let me back it just a little bit. When we were recording this song for our third CD, we knew pretty quickly we had something sort of special on this tune, and so Kelly and I thought, well, this would be a great way to kind of jumpstart the record before it comes out. Record, you know what I mean? A lot of you do. And so
We all remember those.
you remember those, yeah.
They're making a
And
comeback.
so yeah, they are. And so we ran down to Galveston for a quick weekend and shot a video. And this was probably February, I would say, maybe.
March.
And was it March? Well, it was still nippy enough. Everybody was, they were beaching themselves down there because the water was a little cold. But Galveston is just, it's just such a cool place. The strand, you know, and the seawall and the brown water and all of that stuff that goes with it, you know, the seaweed. But every time we go down there, we spend several hours trying to re-find this Mexican food place, and we haven't been able to. And we even have fans that will send pictures and say, "Is this it?" Nobody's been able to find it yet. And so, if you ever go to Galveston and you're hankering for Mexican food, this place is somewhere in a neighborhood on the island. It's in a neighborhood, and it's a white box. It might have been sorry, it might have been something else at one time besides a Mexican food place, but that's what it is. Last time I saw it, and so if you find it, please hit me up and let me know where it is.
It's in Port Aransas.
Oh yeah, that's gonna mess this song up. I think it's high time to slip on down to Galveston again. Hey, now we can rent that little place down near the beach like we once did. We can walk hand in hand with bare feet upon the sand, and then we can watch that big old sun sink down with no one else around Galveston. On Galveston, that's right. On Galveston, we can make our getaway, head on down to stay on Galveston. On Galveston, on Galveston, we can make a little love, having a lot of fun on Galveston. Later on, I think it would be lovely if we could maybe rediscover that old Mexican restaurant up in that neighborhood, somewhere between frozen margaritas, sizzling shrimp fajitas. come on in your eyes as I should. On Galveston, on Galveston, we can make our getaway, head on down to play on Galveston. On Galveston, on Galveston, we can make a little love, we can have a lot of fun on Galveston. Yeah, so let's make our getaway, we can head on down to play on Galveston. Yeah, so let's make our getaway, baby, we can slip on down to play on Galveston.
I got most of those.
Excellent job, Jed. Just like we practiced.
I was trying to hear where you were going. Well, speaking of Port Aransas, a few years ago I was I was invited down a few years ago to help commemorate the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Sabine Pass. Another Civil War song, I'm sorry. And this was one of those wonderful battles from the American Civil War. There was a group of Irish soldiers out of Houston area, and they'd been sent down there. And these guys were an artillery group, and they were really good. They'd already been commendated on such good artillerymen they were. And they'd been sent down there because the Confederate government had wind of an invasion that was coming. The Yankees were sending a whole army out of Louisiana, out of New Orleans, to land at Sabine Pass and cut Texas out of the Confederacy. And the Confederate government knew there was some very large, old, powerful naval cannon that were at the mud brick fort down there at Port Aransas. And so they sent these guys down there, and they said, go down there and spike the cannon, destroy those cannon so they can't be used against us. Well, these guys aren't really very good at following directions, and what they did was they went down there and they beefed up the fort, and they built up the mud brick fort, and then they practiced with the cannon, and they practiced and they practiced, and they put markers in the ship channel, in the river actually, so they knew exactly where their range was for every single one of those different cannon. And then they sat back and waited for the Yankees to show up. And sure enough, a couple of dozen ships, actually about 20 some odd ships, showed up, and they all mostly stayed out at the mouth of the river. They sent up 2 of their high-tech gunboats, followed by 2 troop ships, because they saw the Confederate flag flying over the fort, so they knew it was occupied. And they blasted away all morning long at the fort, and they did almost no damage because they weren't very good at their jobs. And the fellow who was running them was called Dick Dowling, an Irish immigrant, wonderful character in and of himself. And they're downstairs playing cards while all this is going on. And as soon as they got into range, they came upstairs and they manned their cannon, and within 45 minutes they disabled 2 of the gunboats, captured 450 prisoners. And the troop ships and the whole rest of the armada sailed back to New Orleans and said, we can't go in there. And the funny thing is, there's 5,000-man army, right? 1,000 sailors on the ships. And there's only 43 of Dick Dowling and his men that turned it around. And when wind of what actually happened at this event got out, both sides actually got a chuckle out of it. Even in the day, this was seen with a bit of humor, because it was just their bluster and bravado of these Irish immigrants that turned this whole thing around. So now that I've told you the story, I have to sing you the song. And so I wrote a song for him. It goes like this. Come sit and hear my story, child, upon your granddad's knee, of how the Irish heroes fought in 1863. Lieutenant Richard Dowling led our band of gallant men, a brave and handsome warrior, a red-haired Irishman. Now the war between the states was on, and 2 years come to pass. The Union sent invading force to land at Sabine Pass.
To crush the South, the Yankees sent 5,000 by the sea. While Dowling and the Davis Guards, we numbered 43. We didn't know we couldn't win. We faced the Yankee foe. We turned the Federal fleet around and lay their gunboats low. Dick Dowling and the Davis Guards in 1863. The Irish heroes whipped the Yanks and saw them turn and flee. The Federals thought a show of strength would take the rebel fort, and here within a cable length they'd build a Yankee port. So cautiously they pressed their plan, their gunboats breathing fire, while safe behind a dozen ships would watch the fight transpire. Well, they saw their cannon miss the mark, and boats steamed toward the quay. They saw projectiles fall beyond and harmless in the sea. And when they saw them drift in range of Dowling's shot and shell, they saw the Davies open fire and blast them all to hell. We didn't know we couldn't win. We faced the Yankee foe. We turned the Federal fleet around and lay their gunboats low. Dick Dowling and the Davis Guards in 1863. The Irish heroes whipped the Yanks and saw them turn and flee. The Federals struck their colors, put a white flag in its place. 350 Yankees there surrendered in disgrace. Surrendered to the Davis Guard and then was shocked to see Dick Dowling and the Davies only numbered 43. Now history remembers, through the tales of old granddads, Lieutenant Richard Dowling and our band of gallant lads. When each September rolls around, I'll raise a glass and say, here's a health to all the Davis Guard who turned the Yankee fleet away. We didn't know we couldn't win. We faced the Yankee foe. We turned the Federal fleet around and lay their gunboats low. Dick Dowling and the Davis Guards in 1863. The Irish heroes whipped the Yanks and saw them turn and flee. Here's the Dick Dowling. Thank you. True story.
Not only Port Aransas, but Acapulco, too. Acapella, you know. So, it's a proven fact that musicians are better looking than mere mortals. There are a number of them in this room. And so, guitar players especially are handsome, I must say. And I mean, I think I look good for 75, right? And there's a huge temptation to want to be in a relationship with a musician. That's a mixed bag, though. I will tell you this. Of course, it's all good at the beginning, and he's going to write a song about you, and it's going to be fantastic. But I'm just warning you, don't be shysty. Because if you are, he's going to write another song. And this is that song. You can find her in the club on any given night. She'll be out on the dance floor with some other guy while he's at home, giving bubble baths and tucking kids in tight. She doesn't care about the consequences anymore. She says that she deserves the fun she's living for. Lord knows, I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Lord knows, I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Well, she slips into the back seat without regret, with some good-looking cowboy that she just met. Looks out the window up at the parking lot line. Meanwhile, he's putting tomorrow's lunches in brown paper sacks. He's writing "I love you" sticky notes on sandwich bags. Lord knows, I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Lord knows, I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Yeah. on the porch flap, I pull the blind. I don't look in the bedroom mirror as I'm passing by. Lord knows I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Lord knows I sure hate to see the wrong man cry. Wrong man cry. Let that be a lesson to you. Thank you very much.
Well, one of the things that I've done, I gave up my job. It's just about my day job almost exactly 18 years ago to the day, and started making my living playing music. And what I ended up doing was, I tell people, I do this all the time, I say, I ended up, I'll play anywhere they pay me and too many that don't. And but the good news is, I love it. I love playing all different kinds of things. I play mostly Celtic music. I know I've done a lot of historical stuff, and I got one more for you that I'm going to do, but I stumbled my way into a wonderful event where these folks down in Okeechobee, Florida had discovered that they knew exactly where the Battle of Okeechobee had happened. Now this is the Second Seminole Indian War. In fact, this was the major battle of the war. And major event, this first war that America fought was slavery, because so many of the slaves at the time were running away over generations they had been, and they were being supported by the Seminole Indians. Sometimes they were slaves to the Indians, but even if that was the case, they ended up being members of the tribe as time went by. And so there were whole tribes of black Seminoles, and the Seminole in particular were quite mixed. So America decided that they needed to move these guys out, as they were moving a lot of the other Indians out. And this battle happened at the Battle of Okeechobee. So I learned a whole lot about it, and I'm not going to tell you all of it, but this is one of my favorite songs I wrote for the project. You won't understand all the history, I guess, but hopefully it'll make some sense.
I see all of was too late, and I knew that we couldn't wait, and we watched those fabulous march while we hid in the pine, making hope heroes to shoot, and the rest would follow soon. And it was then I felt that second Seminole wind. Now the pale chief beats his drum and sends his troops to remove us from the land, and they carry our black brothers off in chains. And I cannot leave my father's grave, and will not walk that trail of tears, for the one who gives me breath will quell my fears. Soon the red battle is won, I meet Okeechobee shore, where we stopped like tailors men from my line in the trees. We load and slipped away, lived to fight another day. But those shadows felt that second Seminole wind. Now the pale chief beats his drum and sends his troops to remove us from the land, was the world I knew, and my days on earth are few. But he took my people's land, the white man's land. They removed some to the west, to the south they pushed the rest. But now my heart flies free on that second Seminole land. Now the Apache beats his drum and sends his troops to remove us from the line. And they carry our black brothers off in chains. And I cannot leave my father's grave, and will not walk that trail of tears. For the one who gives me breath will quell my fears.
I have a lot of musician friends here tonight, and I'm so grateful for you guys coming out tonight. You made me a little nervous because I know you're watching close and giving me hopefully you'll give me a good grade. But my guitar hero is here tonight. My cousin Russell Smith back here in the back. He is not only an amazing guitar player, he's just such a righteous dude, you know. And
Checks in the mail, Mark.
all the time, whenever there was a family reunion, I would bring my guitar, and Russell would kindly bring his guitar, and we would find a quiet spot, and we would play music, and I would just steal as many licks as I possibly could. And the rest of the family would come out and gather around, and Russell's in a couple of bands right now. Fur Cabin is one, right? And another one is Half Nelson, because at one point half the band, their last name was Nelson. And you can look them up on the FaceTube, and you should come out and hear these guys. They are amazing, and so much fun. Some of the music that Russell played when I was young, instead of influencing me, it scared me. I mean, they were rocking, and I really I like John Denver a lot. Far out, you know. And as a young guitarist, you know, I could play his stuff. I couldn't sing it real well because it was so high, but he talked about things that I could relate to. My parents were teachers, and in the summer many times we'd go on vacation to Colorado, so I connected with that part of it as well. And at one point I wrote John, and I told him, you should fire your guitar player and hire me because I'm cool and I know all your songs. And oddly, I never heard from John after that. But as one of those cool winks from God that he gives us sometimes, I became very good friends with this guitar player that I tried to get fired.
Who's played in here a number of times.
Yeah.
Did he? And we lost him a few years ago, but he told me so many of the stories behind the things I knew, and I remember the first time we got together. I don't remember if we shook hands, but he hugged me. You know, it was like we'd been friends forever. And we sat in this living room with all the gold records around the walls, and I played John Denver songs, and he was throwing licks at me that I'd spent hours trying to figure out on playing Drop the Needle back in the day. He was just such a loving and gentle guy and gracious guy.
He was.
But John's influence on me musically really spun me in a certain direction for sure. And I remember when I got the phone call that he had passed, and I just kind of hearkened back to that. And this song is off of the first record, and it's called Song for JD, but it's really not. It's about it's a song for MG because it's about how he impacted my life. Because oddly enough, I wasn't this cool in high school. Right, David? Well, I find myself in quiet contemplation about my rocky high school days. An awkward kid with no direction, sometimes just wishing I could fly away. I met a friend and he made the difference. He spoke of things that I understood, taught me to sing and play this guitar song. Now I've flown higher than I ever thought I could, singing Rocky Mountain High. Learn to reach for the sky. I've flown higher than I ever thought I could, singing Rocky Mountain High. This old guitar helped me find my identity. His music helped me through the pain of all the adolescent cruelty, and not being cool back in your high school complaint. Oh, but now with all those years behind me, I can smile because I know home is safe and how you get there. You take me home down country road, singing Rocky Mountain High. Learn to reach for the sky. I'm going higher than I ever thought I could, singing Rocky Mountain High. Well, my phone rang one early Monday morning with the sad news that my friend was gone. Though I never met him, Lord, I knew I'd miss him. Picked up this old guitar, played a little song, and I sang from Rocky Mountain High. Learn to reach for the sky. I've flown higher than I ever thought I could, singing Rocky Mountain High. You taught me to reach for the sky. I've flown higher than I ever thought I could, singing Rocky Mountain High. 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 ever need.
Hey guys, can we do about maybe a couple more rounds, and then we'll take a break for a few minutes to give everybody a break? I wanted to tell y'all two things real quick too. I'm gonna pass this around. We are purging our old email list because it just got too big and too bulky. So if you would like to know before we're gonna do a show, I send one out a week ahead of the show. You'll get 18 of them a year. If you'd like to be on that list, please put your email address with your name beside it on this list. I'm gonna start over here with Mr. Rainey. You get real busy putting your name on there, Mr. Rainey. Here's your name. And we'll just pass it around during the show. And Jed, you need any water? Or are you good? Mark?
I'm good. We're gonna take a break here.
Okay, one other thing I want to tell you guys. Next month, we're not doing any more shows this month as far as the live concerts. But we've got multiple Grammy winner, lady who's played at the White House twice. Our next show will be Miss Tish Hinojosa. And she will be here. She is incredible. And so she will be here doing a solo show the 10th of March. And then we've got what I always do every year, get one Dallas Blues act. We got Leo Hall and the Texas Blues Machine. I think Leo's 78th year or something like that. So he'll be rocking the stage up with a 5-piece band.
He's really good.
Oh my God.
If you want to be, if you do want to have, be on that list, just put your name on that email list, and I will send you one email per show. That's all.
Mr. Treadway.
Yes.
We need to check Mr. Gorman's
Check
mic.
1, 2.
He has not had a mic much.
It's Reno, you got it?
Check 1, 2.
Nope.
It went away.
Hello.
Went away. His mic phone.
You can use mine.
Check.
Old school, one mic we share.
Hey, a little bluegrass tonight. It's gonna break out.
You know what I can do is I can turn
Check.
the PA off and back on.
Oh, then we'll all be acoustic.
Reboot.
We're gonna reboot the plane.
I was wondering because I wasn't hearing it very well myself.
Yeah, no, I couldn't hear you much. Check. Go
I
ahead.
figured somebody paid him to turn it off.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna kick the PA off and run back on, guys.
Okay. Hold it if you want to keep it.
How about now?
It's up.
Mark?
Hello. Still,
No.
I'll be here all night. Try the meatloaf. All right.
It's working.
Hello. Can you hear me? You still can't hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you.
You can hear me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're clamoring for more. Check.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do a song and let me get it right in the middle of the song.
Cool. Well, it's Jed. Oh, there you go.
It healed itself.
Hello. Yeah, we just threatened it.
I'm probably on that.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, were you trying to be a ventriloquist again for some
He
reason?
sleeps with you.
So we do one more.
He sleeps with me.
You're going to do one, I'm going to do one,
And then we're
and then I'm going to race you to the bathroom.
That was my thought.
When you get our age, well, I don't know about you. I just met you. You seem like a nice guy. But this young lady's in a bad spot. I can just tell you. I'm headed right through there. Uh-oh.
Gabby, I'll say it.
All right, so we're gonna do one more each and that's it. This is a song that I wrote a number of years ago. My wife told me that I need to find a way to put our dogs in a song. We had, at the time, we had Lacey and Jackson, and they're a pair of whippets. You know what whippets are? Those are the sighthounds, right? They're beautiful little dogs, running machines, and sweet and lovable, and just the sweetest dogs you want to know. But they know that they were born to kill furry little creatures. So, doesn't matter how well behaved they are. If they see a squirrel, they're gone like a cool breeze, and they're not coming back. So I got to thinking about what kind of song that might be. And I had just started doing a lot of traveling in those days. And I remembered one particular trip. I was coming back from Amarillo. I'd been out west, and I just had a whole lot of driving to do. And I just got to thinking about how that might help me tell this song. Lacey turned her
face to the sun, it was almost rising. Jackson hit the ground on the run and he bound away. The Amarillo skyline's clear against the horizon. It's just another lonely start to a brand new day. Something in your eye that made me that I wanted. Not wanted. Something in her heart made me want to stay. Sorry. Something in the road, there's nothing in this roadside stop this time of the morning. Especially the words. Nothing but these two side hounds, my truck and me. Each and every time I leave, I lose the world behind. Each and every time I find my way. There ain't no going back, it's true I know, but I don't mind. It's just another lonely start to a brand new day. Now and then I hear from my sister in Memphis. She gives me all the news of my ex in San Antonio. I try to say hello to mom on birthdays and Christmas. No, I can't come home just now, but it won't be long. Each and every time I leave, I lose the world behind. Each and every time I find my way. Ain't no going back, it's true I know, but I don't mind. Just another lonely start to a brand new day. Jackson jumped on the tailgate. Lacey's getting on in years, she'll need a hand. It's time for moving on, I know, and some things just can't wait. I didn't leave her note, I hope she'll understand. Each and every time I leave, I lose the world behind. Each and every time I'll find my way. Ain't no going back, it's true I know, but I don't mind. Just another lonely start to a brand new day. Just another lonely start to a brand new day.
Challenge.
You know, we play these songs a million times, and we know them forwards and frontwards, backwards, and whatnot, sideways. And then we play with somebody that we don't know, and he plays a lick that you hadn't heard before, and you go, "That was cool. Whoa, what was that lyric?"
Exactly right.
So what's going on here is I'm throwing him off, he's throwing me off. That's the whole idea here. Is we're kind of jacking with each other, but we're having fun doing it, and we're having a good time doing it.
Is your tenor? Are you disengaged? We're not getting your guitar.
Oh, I'm re-engaged.
Well, it sounded great to me.
You got me now? Can you hear me now? All right. So when we made our first CD back in the 1900s, we didn't know who our audience was going to be, so it was kind of a songwriter thing. I all the things I'd written that I thought were fairly okay, we put it on a CD, and then we just pitched it around to see who liked it. And it seemed that the Texas music people really grabbed onto it, and so we had kind of a direction after that. And as we began to play, I was playing a show at Poor David's Pub, and we were opening for Carrie P. Nunn. I had no idea who Carrie P. Nunn was, and at some point somebody hipped me to the fact that he's the guy who wrote Going Home with the Armadillos that they play on Austin City Limits, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So we came in and did our sound check, and kind of as we were finishing, his band was coming in, and he was kind of trailing the band, and they caught part of it, and one of the guys said, oh, that was kind of cool. What kind of music do y'all play? And somebody said, oh, they play kind of a Texas kind of country. He goes, Texas kind of country? That's a great name for a song. Kerry, did you hear that? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna write me a song called Texas kind of country. And I said, you're gonna steal our idea? And he goes, well, hell yeah, I'm gonna steal your idea. So now I'm open for a lot of people, and some of them I've met, and they're really nice folks, and some of them I've never met before. And a lot of times you don't meet these people. They, you play your gig, and you make sure you hit your mark, and you're out and get all your stuff off the stage in time for them to come on and do their thing. But I noticed that as we were playing our gig, I looked kind of right back over here where Mackenzie's sitting. Raise your hand, Mackenzie. Right there, Gary P had snuck in the dark back there, and he was leaning against the wall, and he was listening to our set. And then when they played their set near the end, he called me up on stage and he gave me his guitar, and I played, I don't know, I think I played Johnny Be Good or something with the band. It was a lot of fun. It was great. And so afterwards, when everybody was gone, Gary said, what are you doing next week? And I said, well, nothing. He goes, well, hey, you guys are cool. Why don't you come down to Green and open for me at Green? I said, Green, cool, what's that? He said, is there something wrong with you? Yeah, there's a long list. But he said, Green is the oldest dance hall in Texas. It's like redneck Mecca, man. You gotta come play. And I said, oh my, I'll be there. So sure enough, we show up down there, and I unload all my stuff, and I'm waiting for Gary to show up, and the band shows up, and I help them bring all the PA in, and I'm having fun just hanging out with the band and setting up. And then Gary comes in, he said, what are you doing? I'm setting up. He said, stop it. He said, come here. And he took me around to all the radio stations in the area, and he introduced me to everybody. Oh, boy, I only left out the most important part of the song. So I said, you're going to steal our song? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll race you for it. So, okay, cool. So anyway, we get there, and he takes me around the radio station. I said, hey, did you write your song? He goes, no, did you? And I go, yeah. He goes, you did? I said, yeah. And so anyway, they played there. We opened for it was like this. It was like shoulder to shoulder rednecks. If one guy went to get a beer, everybody went to get a beer. They moved as one group, and it was great. They were with us. It was a great show. And then Gary came up and he did his show, and of course it was Gary. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. But after the show, when all the autographs were signed and all of the T-shirts were sold, and everybody was gone, and the band was packing up the PA, Gary walked off stage with his guitar, and he handed me his guitar, and we went and sat at a little picnic table right over here where David and Priscilla are sitting, and I sat there and I played the song. It sounded just like this, almost, that night, because the band wasn't there that night either. Actually, they were, but they didn't know the song. And so, Texas kind of country. He loves the last verse because I put his name in it. So,
Louder will get you everywhere.
hey, now there's a place way down in Texas where all the cowboys bring their cowgirls out to see a little band who plays an infectious kind of music that they like to call the Texas kind of country. Well, I ain't got nothing against the boys from Nashville, 'cause I know they really understand how to pick and grin. Still my heart beats to a little swinging rhythm, a Texas kind of country that puts me in the state I'm in. Well, I know that I just might be biased, flax on while we play Texas kind of country all night long. I can tell, mister, you ain't from around here. So let me see if I can explain what I mean about that Texas kind of country and why it's so dear to every God-fearing, hell-raising Texan you've ever seen. Well, I know that I just might be by you, but when you're right, you know you can't be wrong. So raise that shiner rock up to that Lone Star flag, son, while we play Texas kind of country all night long. I'm gonna play a little bit. Woo. If you ain't from Texas, then you can't get loud. Can't get loud. You just can't have no fun. Well, have some fun, but take care of one another. 'Cause I wanna go home with the armadillos like Gary P. Nunn. That's right, that's the favorite. I know that I just might be by you. You're right, you know you can't be wrong. So raise that shine, you're locked up in salute, son, while we play the Texas kind of country all night long. While the boys play Texas kind of country all night long. While my friends play Texas kind of country all night long. Do not leave. We're going to take a break. Do not leave, because we played all our crap up front. We're playing the good stuff next.
I don't know if I mentioned this tip bucket or not.
And there are CDs for sale in a living room near
There are.
you.
And 100% of all the proceeds from my CD goes to feed my son and my grandson. So, yeah.
I'm going to beat you.
You know he.
Oh, no! Tackle him, sir. Tackle him.
We need to put the CDs out.
Let's put him out.